Uh, what do y'all think about the Eliza Blue situation?
I think that I don't know what she doesn't know what the Streisand effect is. Like for some reason, all of this internet era, for some reason, people don't know what that is. If
Okay,
you
I
try
want
to
you to stop.
shut
Hold
down,
on. Stop right there. Stop right there. You know that you just answered your own question, right? You said, I don't know why people in this internet era don't understand the Streisand effect.
yeah,
When the Streisand effect happened?
is
Far, far, far before the internet.
oh yeah, way before.
So people don't understand, have any inkling of an idea. And I bet people who are using the term right now going, oh, it's a Streisand effect, really don't understand what that means.
Another way of saying it, like the Streisand effect, is like unintended consequences.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
whole thing of they're like, okay, I'm trying to quiet this down, like the whole Eliza Blue thing. Instead of it's like, hey, chick, you've been out there in the streets, okay? You've been doing
Yes.
videos and whatever you got going on.
You were a
You
video vixen back in the gap.
you
Okay, and
did that.
no,
You
no.
should. Oh,
According to her, she was being exploited.
yeah, right. If I remember, I found out too. She used to date, I think one of the lead guys or My Chemical Romance, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, why are you? She would have, if she would have said, you know what, yeah, I did that. It would have been like nothing. But the fact that she started getting people blocked and banned and kicked and stuff like that, saying that, oh, they have private photos of me. It's like, no, that was public. Let it go, and then
Because
you
she
keep
didn't
on
want.
pushing.
Well, the thing about that, Frosty, is because she had no desire, zero desire, because understand the grift that she's running right now. And the grift that she's running right now is the grift of, I am a victim of human trafficking and I am working to stop human trafficking. Now, I have done some research on Miss Eliza Blue.
Okay.
I cannot find any substantial work that she has done to stop human trafficking outside of, and she's been getting awards.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because I was curious about that myself.
So I looked it up. I'm like, I don't see what are you? And
Yeah,
one of the things that I checked out is when I typed in Eliza Blue and trafficking, one of the first things that came up were Eliza Blue's own friends are buying her trafficking story.
uh
That was like the first three things that came up.
How was she trafficked? In a
Uh, uh,
taxi?
that was so low. That was a kick to the crotch. That was uncalled for. That was not polite.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That was, I mean, accurate though. But you know what? That's a really good question.
So she is she like Patrice Colors? Like BLM. Where they getting all this money.
You know
You
what,
know,
man? I
we
believe that's what I believe.
we get all this money. We say we doing activism work, but we really ain't. We really ain't about that life. But we are buying, mansions and you know, quote unquote white neighborhoods.
Oh,
Nice neighborhoods.
and before I do that, here's something I want to say about her overall. So check this one out. It's something that's a meme, but it's a very realistic meme.
What's that?
They say, animals in the wild, in the deepest parts of the jungle, and in the wild,
Okay.
the animals that exhibit the brightest colors are normally the deadliest.
Yes.
They have those colors to let you know that we are toxic, we are
Yes.
poisonous. Now, is there any reason that you
Yes.
cannot correlate that to all these loud colored leftists?
I think there's a
Bruh,
possible
I,
correlation there.
I like that. That makes
bruh.
sense.
When somebody's pointing out to me, they go, "You look at the poison dart frog, how beautiful it is.
Hmm.
The milk snakes,
Hmm.
all these beautiful animals that are brightly colored to let you know, hey, we are toxic." He goes, now then, let's look at all these activists: purple hair, lime hair, green hair. Oh my God, nature still is nature. We are letting
Yeah.
you know that we are toxic.
Yeah. Because I first seen that Eliza Blue was on Tim Pool's show
Yeah.
podcast like maybe a couple years ago. And if I first saw her, I'm like, because especially I think whatever the topic was on that thing, I'm like, is that a woman? I mean, like because you know how there's these transformers out here. I was like, because especially what she was wearing, I'm like, hey, you look at some people nowadays, who knows? But anyway, uh, I
She
just
has the prettiest blue eyes, and that captures men's lower part of their bodies.
I bet.
I'm just saying.
because I remember every time I saw her on the show, it's not like she brought anything really of true value. I thought to the
No,
podcast.
no.
She's more popular now because of this controversy she was before.
Yep.
Because I didn't know who the hell she was.
At all. Had never heard of her.
Yeah, other than seeing her before, and that was it. That was literally was it. And then this happened, and I'm like, oh, and, and this is also why you don't try to block people who are actually popular, like Quartering, Brittany Venti, and Yellow Flash, and I think probably some other
Mhm.
people.
Yeah,
Uh, it's like,
Camelot.
yeah,
Yep.
it's like you got people who have millions of followers. They got reach, so they'll be like, wait a minute, and then of course it starts trending, and it keeps going, and the more that happens to try to stop it, it just gets bigger and bigger. Therefore, stress an effect. And
And most of her story is BS and a lie. Like she tells folks, "Oh, I'm from Cali." Nah, man, you from Iowa, or I think it's a part of Illinois that borders Iowa. Like most of her stories have been BS. She denies the fact that she's part of this her family, because her father is a Illinois state representative. And I want to say, let me
Oh
pull it up
wow.
real quick. Let me
Okay.
pull it up. Yeah, state rep who unsuccessfully ran for lieutenant governor in 2018.
See, that's why you don't let people know, because the internet is undefeated. They
yeah,
will search and
Undefeated.
search and search.
yeah, you got to be careful. You never know who's a glowy out there.
And essentially, essentially what she's done is she doesn't, now that she's made herself this major advocate for human trafficking, she doesn't want people to see what kind of what video her video vixen passed.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna read this to you real quick, fellas. Quoting here from the Daily Beast. There's no question that Blue has advocated for trafficking victims, especially on Twitter.
Mm.
But she has offered murky accounts of her own background that leave even her supporters unsure about all but the vaguest details. She can also grow hostile with reporters who ask for basic facts, like the years she was trafficked or the names of her perpetrators. For example, journalist Katie Herzog, we all heard of Katie Herzog. She reached Blue on the phone in December, only to have Blue become defensive when Herzog raised even the prospect of asking Blue about her own story. Now, the Daily Beast has pieced together a rough outline of Blue's account of her trafficking experiences based on interviews she's given to sympathetic media outlets. Blue has said that her trafficking spanned two different periods, separated by roughly a decade. Let's stop right there. Let's just stop right there, y'all. Has anybody heard of somebody being human trafficked, takes off 10 years, and gets human trafficked again?
Uh,
Bruh. Bruh.
I don't know what to say about that.
Bruh. Bruh, I can't with this, bruh.
She
Bruh.
did six. Repeat that. She did what again?
Please. I'm glad, Breezy. Please give me your 2 cents on this one.
Say no. Say repeat that so I can say what I'm thinking of.
Exactly.
What I'm going to say.
I'm going to say it. Blue has said that her trafficking spanned two different periods separated by roughly a decade. So I'm saying, have you ever heard of somebody being human trafficked, take off for 10 years, and then be human trafficked again?
Yeah, it's called a prostitute
Well, the
or
politically
a
correct term,
or a porn star.
the politically correct term nowadays is sex worker.
Yes,
There you go, sex worker.
that
That
is the
generalizes all
PC
of it. It's
term.
all the above when you say sex worker. That's what
Oh,
exactly what that is.
oh
Exactly what
my
that
God.
is.
That was, say, man, did you listen to that last segment I did about sex workers? Is that what happened right there?
Yeah.
Because that say, man, look, don't because that's a button for me. Human traffic. Don't confuse me human traffic with a sex worker because most of the hoes. Now let me take that back. All the hoes I know are doing it of their own free volition.
Mhm.
But that's the part that got me. I just had to stop right there because that set off every BS meter in my head. In her telling, quoting still, Blue was first groomed by a prominent photographer she met at a Warped Tour concert in Chicago when she was 16. A few years later, when she was still a teenager in the late 90s, Blue's father drove her to Los Angeles because Blue was convinced that an unnamed high profile musician she met through that photographer would make her a star.
What?
So, what she's saying is at 18, 19,
Yeah.
her father drove her to California
Hmm.
to meet up with a musician to make her a star.
That just sounds like, hey, I'm bringing my daughter to get ran through real quick so maybe she get a chance.
Let's just stop her for a second.
I get next.
Do we honestly believe her dad took her to Los Angeles to get ran through?
That's-
I mean, let's just stop for a second, bro, boss. Let's wait. Especially if you are a politician, you know that your child, you know that whatever your child does sticks to you. So do we think that
But
that
here's
he
the
just
question:
wittingly ran her
Was he a
ass out to L.A. to
was
say
he was he a politician before or after?
no? He's been a politician.
Like how long though? Was because she said that happened when she was young. So was he a politician?
Okay,
Like
she said that happened in the 90s. I tell you what, why don't you look up her father,
okay,
Richard Morthland, Morth Land, Richard Morthland,
let's see. Okay,
and I'll keep going. Okay. Instead, she was sexually assaulted within 48 hours of arriving in the city. Her traffickers quickly hooked her on a drug she knew as ice, generally recognized as slang for crystal methamphetamine, though Blue has said she didn't know what drug it was. Okay. I've always said that when we did this, we're going to be open to our listeners. Am I correct, my brothers?
mm,
Mhm.
Okay. Let me tell my listeners this. I know people on the opposing side of the law. Ice is not something you get hooked on repeatedly. ICE's mortality rate is severely high. When I tell you that in Dallas itself, 1 out of every 3 people that hit it their first time died. Ice is not something you get hooked on, partner. It's something you die from. If we didn't kill you the first time, by the third try, you were out of here. DPD had an ICE task force back in the late 90s. They had to get it off the street. It was literally a one hit a quarter. So for this helper to say, please, you know good. Anyway, Blue claims she was then sold for $500 to a sex trafficking ring in Hollywood Hills, where she found herself living with members of a ring that trafficked transgender women. Oh, she's checking all the boxes now, y'all.
oh that
Good Lord.
Breezy, did you hear that? She is checking
yeah.
all the boxes.
What the hell
Oh,
wrong with this chick?
quick deal. Her father was only in office from 2011 to 2013.
And she says, and I quote, I was sold for $500 to a very old gentleman in the hills. Let's just stop. Again, y'all have seen documentaries and things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many victims know how much they were sold for?
I don't think they know.
I don't
Okay.
think
All right.
they know.
Because that deal is not made in front of your face.
Exactly. Why would they tell the?
Exactly. They're not doing it in front of you. They not. So there are so many holes. Blue claims she struggled to get enough food and water because I was on drugs and other substances. But Blue was such a handful for her traffickers, in her telling, that they ultimately gave her back to the original trafficker for free.
What?
I mean, Ninja, please. Sorry, I can't. Nah, bro.
Is she that horrible that that you gotta just give her back for free? That,
Nah, she was that strong of a proud white woman, and she didn't take no mess. After she got off that ice and drugged up, she refused. She fought. She fought. She bitten. She said, no, I am not gonna go to the upper side of California. I'm gonna stay down in Los Angeles because I don't want to be in no San Francisco. So I'm gonna fight back because I am a proud white woman. So
Okay.
guess what? Y'all gonna get. How in the hell does she know how much contradiction? Like, okay, so I'm over it.
Okay,
I ain't got nothing else to say.
no. It gets better, and when I say better, I mean worse. Okay, look, fellas, I know I haven't given y'all Christmas gifts, but please take this metaphorical galoshes and hip waders outfit because the is about to get deep. Continuing, Blue claims she was hospitalized for a drug overdose before returning to her family farm in Illinois. Now remember, this is after she was given back to the original trafficker. She says, quoting, "My family didn't even recognize me when I got off the plane."
Plane.
Okay. After 2 weeks on the farm, she returned to Los Angeles to retrieve her car, but she was once again swept up into human trafficking for an undefined period. Okay.
Slut or skank.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to read that
I'll
part.
see exactly what I think.
Go ahead.
She was in the streets getting it in, right? So she crossed some people, so she had to dip out of there for a little bit. And when she came back, everything laid there, everything got cooled off, everything was, on a chill. She went back so she could finish up some things that she was working. That's what she's doing. I'm just saying. Hip hop.
But
Keep it, stop it, rocking.
But here's the thing. She said after 2 weeks on the farm, she returned to Los Angeles to retrieve her car. But she was once again swept up into human trafficking. Okay, let's stop for a second. Let me tell you what the problem is.
Everything.
I'm going to repeat to you what I just said. She returned to Los Angeles to retrieve her car.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember how that started? Her dad drove her to Los Angeles. Now, which one was it? Because I am confused.
Well, maybe during that time of being quote unquote traffic, maybe she bought a car.
I quit. And Frosty shut down the show. Everybody kill the lights, drop the curtain. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it.
It's crazy.
Breeze. This nigga just said he can't even breathe right now. I hear you. This nigga said she bought a car while she was getting pimped out. While she was getting trafficked. She had the wherewithal to go car shopping.
You know the Nissan Altima.
You are worse. you somehow made that work.
We all know the ghetto car. Every middle class, upper lower middle class person.
Oh God.
Hey, the car that anybody can get financing for or get it out quick. What is it?
Nissan.
They put anybody in there. Anybody can get qualified for Nissan Altima. If Nissan turn you down on Altima, you got a problem.
Okay, I'm looking at this Yahoo News article, right?
Okay, go ahead.
You said she got trafficked.
Like
48 hours after she got in LA.
Yeah, yes.
And then she said she got sold for $500 to a ring.
Yeah. Don't try to make sense of it, Slick. I promise you will blow up your brain.
Also, too, there should be more details in her story. I never saw her story another on Tim Pool. Whereas there also,
well, she never gave details.
My detector test determined Ralph. That was a lie.
Was she lying then?
Yeah, that's what everybody said. That's the whole point.
Tell you step by step what happened, where I was at. I was blindfolded. I was strapped here. They shot me up with this. They had me bound to the bed. They had me going on. I used to have to go to this. They had me in this type of dress. They had me in this situation. The guy slapped me. He said in my hair. This is the reason why I got this mark. That's the reason I ain't get no stitches. That's the reason why he put some super glue over my eye. I mean, there's so many details, and she ain't getting jack.
Oh, well, sorry. There was something I skipped over that maybe will help you guys out. Okay? Yeah. Hey, man, let me help y'all out with this, okay? Let me help y'all out with her BS. Her story. Interviewed on Tim Pool's podcast, Blue said she could not offer details about her alleged abusers because of unspecified legal issues. So just so I get this straight, you can't give me details because you can't give me details. Think about it. I'm gonna give you vague details for vague bullshit reasons.
Of course.
What the and wait.
Yeah,
let me give y'all the kiss of death with that. Then she asked, why would it be a problem if she was making up her story? Quoting, let's say hypothetically it is made up. What's my biggest win so far in public? Getting Twitter to address child sexual abuse material and make it a top priority? I'm not asking an abuser for money, and I'm not asking people for money. So wouldn't that be a win? You don't have to
said it.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't have to be a victim to advocate for a cause. I am not a victim of domestic violence, but when I get to a greater point in my life, fiscally, financially, I am going to be far more active in domestic abuse because I've had friends that went through it. Some of them didn't make it out. So I'm not a victim, but that doesn't mean I can't advocate.
I'll tell you what happened. Well, what she was doing, when she got to LA, she was on that music video and they didn't pay her like she wanted to. So what they do, she had to get on her knees to get the final payment. They didn't pay her. So they told her, bend over. So you know what? She thought I won't get the final payment. I was like, nah, we're gonna do it. I need you to go over here to my other homeboy, take care of him. Then we'll get you final up. Then she was like, man, this ain't no fair. Why I keep having to do all this stuff? Wait a minute, I can make up a story. This is sex trafficking. That's the best thing she can come up with. I'm stretching as hard as I can. First of all, this is a freaking lie. That's everything she says is a lie. Let's get that straight. But let's just say we're gonna tweak the real story. What really happened in her eyes. She out here in music video and being one of them thought girls. And guess what? Her payment was, hey, you're going to have to do something for me to get you paid. And they were like, sucker. And they sent home down the road. Sex traffic.
So that was she being sex trafficked when she was with the dude in the band?
Well, remember, it wasn't with the dude in the band. Remember, she went
No. I'm saying during that same quote unquote timeline.
Yeah, remember she went to go to meet the dude. It wasn't she's with him. It was a photographer. The photographer had introduced her. Remember, let's keep her bullshit straight now. She met a photographer.
No, I get that part. I'm saying, I wonder is her timeline saying that multiple things are happening. She was dating this guy while also being trafficked.
I'm saying, it's like you took it. What did she say she was dating him?
No, she was dating him. I just don't know the timeline on that.
Wait, when was she dating him?
The guy in the band, the guy in the Chemical Romance.
When was she dating him? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me try to find that.
Yeah, because all I got on her is she went to go meet the guy from the band, and that's when 48 hours after that, I'm in the sex trafficking. So they dated for 2 days. Is that what that was? All right. So again, she went back to LA. Let's take it back. Okay, Blue's second trafficking period in her own account began roughly in 2008 or 2009 when she was living in the Chicago area. Wait a minute. What the did she just say? That when she went back to get her car, after 2 weeks on the farm, she returned to Los Angeles to retrieve her car, Blue claims, but she was once again swept up to human trafficking for an undefined period.
I'm gonna sum this up. I'm gonna sum this up real quick, okay?
Go ahead.
With a condom on, she was trying to be a star. Without a condom, she was human sex trafficking. We're done.
The saddest part about that is, on a very deprived level, that made sense. Wait. Stop right there. That was a sample. You want the whole entree? Follow us on our podcast, Free Mind Thinkers. You can find us where you pick up any and all your favorite podcasts. That includes Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Until next time, y'all take care of yourselves and always dare to think differently.